Listen carefully, because most people don't. They confuse noise for interest, attention for affection, and convenience for connection. But attraction, when real, is never casual. It's deliberate. It alters behavior patterns and priorities. You can tell when someone is secretly drawn to you, not by the words they throw into the air, but by the discipline that follows their emotion. When a man is truly attracted to you, something fundamental shifts inside him. His nervous system responds before his logic does. He starts paying attention to details no one else notices. The way you speak, the tone you use when you're passionate about something, the small things that irritate you. It's not obsession, it's awareness. Real attraction sharpens focus. It doesn't make him blind, it makes him see more clearly. You'll know it because he stops operating in the realm of chance. He becomes intentional. He won't tell you how much he cares. He'll show you in the structure of his behavior. He'll remember what matters to you. He'll respect your boundaries, not because he's afraid of losing you, but because he understands that value grows through restraint. Attraction without discipline is just chaos disguised as desire. Watch his effort. When a man is secretly drawn to you, he starts investing effort that cannot be explained by politeness or circumstance. He shows up not just in physical presence, but in emotional consistency. He doesn't vanish when things get quiet. He doesn't play the game of mixed signals. His consistency is his confession. Attraction makes him accountable because deep down he knows if he mishandles what he values, he'll lose it. Now, let's be honest. Many people mistake inconsistency for mystery. They think detachment is attractive because it creates tension. But genuine attraction doesn't play hide and seek. It builds safety. A man who's truly drawn to you will make you feel understood, not confused. Confusion is manipulation disguised as chemistry. Clarity, on the other hand, is what the strong deliver when they know what they want. There's another sign, and it's subtle but powerful, his growth. A man attracted to you doesn't just admire you, he starts evolving around you. You'll notice him becoming more deliberate, more mature, more aware of how he shows up. That's not performance, it's transformation. Real attraction challenges a man's comfort zone. It wakes him up, it forces him to confront his own flaws, not because you demand perfection, but because he wants to deserve proximity to your energy. You see, attraction is not about ownership, it's about inspiration. The right kind of pull doesn't drain, it builds. You'll feel the difference. The wrong man leaves you uncertain, tired, questioning your worth. The right one, no matter how quietly he moves, leaves you centered, grounded, and valued. His energy won't compete with yours, it will complement it. Here's the truth, if he's secretly attracted, you'll notice tension, but not chaos. You see restraint, but not distance. You'll feel effort, but never pressure, because attraction, built on respect, is slow, steady, and unshakable. It doesn't demand, it chooses. Look closely at his attention. A man's attention is currency. He spends it only where his soul finds meaning. If he listens deeply, remembers small things, protects your emotional space, or subtly tries to make your world easier, that's attraction. But if you constantly have to earn his focus, if he disappears when life demands depth, then what you're seeing is not attraction, it's convenience. The most undeniable sign of attraction is not confession. It's consistency over time. Anyone can feel something for a moment, but it takes a man of integrity to maintain that energy with discipline, because attraction without structure collapses into impulse, and impulse without intention destroys potential. And if you need one final truth, here it is. If you have to chase clarity, it was never real to begin with. Genuine attraction doesn't hide, it reveals. It's the quiet confidence in his eyes when he looks at you, the patience in his tone when he listens, the stability in his effort when life gets messy. It's not grand gestures, it's patterned behavior. So don't get lost trying to decode mixed messages or subtle games. The truth is simple. When someone is truly attracted to you, they move with purpose. They don't risk losing what gives their life direction. Their attraction becomes visible in how they protect, respect, and prioritize you. Don't settle for confusion disguised as complexity. Real attraction doesn't make you anxious, it makes you aware. And when a man truly feels it, he doesn't hide behind ego, pride, or silence. He may be quiet, but his consistency will speak louder than any words ever could. You can always tell when something real is at play. Real attraction doesn't need a confession. It reveals itself in the smallest of actions, in the quietest of moments, in the discipline that follows desire. It's not in the dramatic gestures or rehearsed words, it's in the patterns that stay consistent long after the excitement fades. Because when someone is truly drawn to you, their attraction doesn't live in impulse, it's built into their habits. People think attraction is an emotion. It's not. It's a form of alignment between curiosity and respect. When a man or anyone is genuinely attracted, it doesn't show up as chaos, it shows up as focus. He starts paying attention, not because he's trying to impress you, but because something inside him wants to understand you. That's the difference between surface level interest and deep attraction. Interest looks, attraction observes. You'll notice it in how he listens, not to respond, but to remember. He stores the small things, what makes you laugh, what drains your energy, what matters to you when no one else seems to care. Attraction sharpens awareness, it creates precision. He'll start noticing your patterns, your moods, the rhythm, in the way you move through the world. That's not obsession, it's care translated into attention. And here's what most people don't realize: attraction without discipline isn't real. Anyone can feel something powerful for a moment, but real attraction sustains itself. It refines behavior. It makes a person more intentional. It teaches patience. Discipline is what separates desire from respect. It's easy to crave someone. It's far harder to respect the boundaries that protect what could be. When someone is truly drawn to you, they'll control their impulses, not to hide emotion, but to honor it. Because they understand that anything of value requires preservation, not possession. That's why consistency matters. Anyone can show up once, but attraction that's real doesn't vanish when convenience ends. It shows up again and again, not out of habit, but out of choice. Consistency is proof that the feeling isn't accidental. It's integrated. When he texts, not just when he's bored, but when he's busy, when he supports you without seeking credit, when he stays steady even when things get quiet, that's not routine, that's revelation. Attraction has become discipline. Most people misread attraction as intensity. They chase sparks, drama, and emotional highs. But intensity without consistency is instability disguised as passion. The person who's truly attracted to you doesn't make you anxious, they make you aware. Their energy doesn't overwhelm, it grounds. Their presence doesn't create noise, it brings focus. Because true attraction isn't reckless, it's responsible. It's a force that drives someone to become better around you, not distracted by you. You see, attraction is a mirror, it exposes character. The way someone handles their attraction says everything about who they are. The weak become impulsive. They chase, they demand, they try to own what they don't understand. The strong become intentional. They respect timing, they build trust, they act with purpose. That's why attraction becomes such a powerful filter. It shows you who's ruled by emotion and who's ruled by growth. And make no mistake, attraction doesn't stay secret forever. It leaks out. It shows through body language, through attention, through effort. The man who's truly drawn to you won't need to say much. You'll feel it in his stillness, in his patience, in the small ways he orbits your life without disrupting your peace. That's how the mature express desire, with steadiness, not spectacle. There's something deeply magnetic about someone who can hold attraction with control. They don't need to chase validation. They don't need to prove their feelings. Their energy speaks for them. Because discipline in attraction isn't suppression, it's mastery. It means they understand that connection grows best in the soil of restraint and respect. And that's where most people fail. They want fireworks but not foundation. They want intensity but not integrity, but attraction that lasts. The kind that builds so. Mething real doesn't depend on constant stimulation. It depends on consistency, on showing up, on creating stability, even when emotion fluctuates. So, if you want to know whether attraction is genuine, stop listening to what's said and start watching what's repeated. Look at the patterns. Does their attention waver? Does their effort depend on your reaction? Or do they move with steady purpose, even when it's not convenient? Ibraki, because the truth is, real attraction isn't hidden. It's disciplined, patient, it's quiet, but persistent. It doesn't demand to be seen, it simply is. It lives in how someone looks at you with recognition, not possession, in how they make space for you, not take it, in how they choose consistency over confusion. Attraction, when real, is not a storm, it's a structure. It's built, maintained, and protected through discipline, attention, and consistency. And when you experience it, you'll know, because it won't just make you feel wanted, it'll make you feel respected. That's the kind of attraction worth waiting for. Ibraka words are easy. Anyone can say they care, that they want you, that they see something special in you, but words are only air, light, effortless, and often empty. True desire has weight. It doesn't stay in language, it moves into action. You can always tell when a man truly desires something because his structure begins to change, his time, his habits, his priorities. Everything starts to shift around the gravity of what he values. Desire that's real doesn't speak, it reorganizes. It bends schedules, breaks routines, challenges comfort zones. It doesn't wait for the perfect time, it creates time. When a man genuinely wants something or someone, he doesn't keep it as a possibility in his mind. He builds a plan around it. That's how you distinguish between talk and truth. Talk entertains ideas. Truth rearranges realities. When a man desires you, you'll see it not in how loud he speaks, but in how deliberately he moves. His actions start aligning with his words. He makes effort where before there was excuse. He becomes consistent where before there was chaos. He chooses focus over distraction because what he wants begins to define how he manages his energy. Real desire always forces reorganization. It demands that something else be sacrificed. Comfort, pride, ego, convenience, because true pursuit is never comfortable. Ibra, pay attention to what he sacrifices, not what he promises. A man can say you matter, but if his habits don't evolve, his words are performance. Real attraction, real desire, shows up as transformation. You'll notice him cutting off distractions that dilute his focus. You'll see him protecting your connection from noise because deep down he knows anything valuable requires attention, and attention requires choice. A man's desire is never about intensity. It's about direction. It's where his time goes when no one is watching. It's what he prioritizes when life demands hard decisions. It's what he uses to lose, even if it costs him ease. A man's desire defines his discipline, and that's why the strongest men don't chase, they build. They build a life that can sustain the things they care about. They rearrange their foundation to fit the structure of what they love. You'll know he's serious when he adjusts the small things, the way he spends his mornings, the way he plans his week, the way he handles his emotions. Those changes may look subtle, but they're the blueprint of intention. A man who truly wants something doesn't need to declare it every day, he simply lives in alignment with it. His effort speaks louder than his declarations ever could. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack desire. They fail because their desire never reaches discipline. They want something, but not enough to change for it. They want love, but not enough to grow for it. They want connection, but not enough to confront their ego for it. But the man who truly desires doesn't hide behind those excuses. He adapts, he evolves, he rearranges everything to make space for what matters. Desire without reorganization is fantasy, but desire with structure, that's purpose, and purpose always builds momentum. That's why the strongest kind of attraction isn't impulsive, it's consistent. The man who truly wants you won't just chase moments, he'll create systems. He'll build habits that keep you safe in his presence, patterns that protect your peace, and routines that include you without demanding that you shrink. You can tell when desire is real because it changes behavior over time. The emotional high fades, but the effort remains. The thrill settles, but the respect deepens. That's when you see the truth. His words were just the introduction. His commitment became the story. And here's what's powerful. When a man rearranges his life for something, he's not just pursuing an external goal. He's redefining himself. Every shift he makes is a declaration of who he's becoming. Rearrangement isn't just a romantic gesture. It's self-evolution. It's saying, this is worth growing for. It's responsibility disguised as desire, because to truly desire something is to take ownership of what it demands from you. It's to say, I want this, and I'll become who I must to keep it. That's the difference between craving and commitment. Craving wants to have, commitment wants to honor. Après-bre.
So don't be distracted by how loud someone speaks. Listen instead to the quiet restructuring of their life.
Do they make space for you, or do they make excuses? Do they show up when it's difficult, or only when it's convenient? Do they bring clarity, or do they bring chaos? Because how a man organizes his life around you will always tell you more than what he says to you. If he truly desires you, he'll create alignment. His priorities will adjust. His words will match his movement. His decisions will start to reflect a new kind of purpose. That's not weakness, it's devotion with discipline. It's the kind of desire that doesn't burn out after excitement fades. It endures because it's built into his daily choices. So remember this, a man's true desire isn't in what he tells you he feels. It's in what he proves he's willing to change. Anyone can promise, only a few can rearrange. Watch what he rebuilds, what he sacrifices, what he grows into, because that's where his truth lives, not in his voice, but in his structure. Abrokwa, anyone can chase what they want, anyone can desire, pursue, or crave attention for a moment, but only the mature, the disciplined, know how to give intentional effort without expecting ownership in return. Because real attraction is not about control, it's about respect. It's not about demanding access, it's about earning trust. The strongest proof of someone's genuine attraction lies not in their intensity, but in their restraint. When someone is truly drawn to you, they don't just appear, they show up with intention. Every action has meaning, every word has care. They don't play games, they don't manipulate emotions to secure your attention. They give effort that stands steady, consistent, and pure. Effort that says, I see you, I value you, but I don't own you. That's what separates emotional maturity from desperation. Intentional effort is the art of pursuit with boundaries. It's the ability to move towards someone with focus but without demand. You'll recognize it instantly. It feels calm, not chaotic, safe, not suffocating. The person isn't trying to possess you, they're trying to understand you. They're not chasing validation, they're offering presence. That's rare because in a world where everyone is conditioned to take, the one who learns to give without entitlement stands apart. Attraction, at its highest level, isn't about instant gratification. It's about consistency over time. The one who's truly attracted won't vanish when things aren't easy, and they won't cling when you need space. They'll move with balance, they'll respect timing, they'll show you through action that interest doesn't have to become pressure. Their effort will never demand a reward, it will simply exist as proof of care. That's the strength of intention. It's not about how much effort is given, but why it's given. Entitlement says, I did this, now you owe me. Intention says, I did this because you matter. And that distinction changes everything. One tries to control, the other seeks to connect. One drains the relationship of trust, the other fills it with respect. When a man is truly attracted to you, you'll see this balance in how he moves. He shows up, but doesn't hover. He supports, but doesn't invade. He listens, not to respond, but to learn. His actions are guided by clarity, not ego. He isn't trying to prove his worth by performing. He's trying to honor yours by being consistent. That's the kind of attraction that builds something solid. It doesn't burn fast and fade. It deepens quietly, steadily, and intentionally. Entitlement, on teach, other hand, destroys connection before it even begins. It turns attraction into ownership, curiosity into control. Entitlement says, because I care, you owe me your time, your energy, your loyalty. But that's not love, that's possession. True attraction doesn't expect, it offers. It doesn't demand reciprocation. It trusts that what's meant will align naturally. That's why the strongest kind of desire always walks with humility. When someone genuinely values you, they don't rush the process. They build trust piece by piece. They understand that the goal isn't to win you, it's to deserve you. They're willing to do the work even if the outcome isn't guaranteed. Because intentional effort is about alignment with character, not outcome. It's about saying, I'll be consistent because that's who I am, not I'll be consistent because I expect a return. Think about that for a moment. How rare it is for someone to give effort without asking for control. How powerful it is when attraction becomes a reflection of discipline rather than impulse. The truth is, the ones who make the deepest impact on your life are those who give without keeping score. They give because they're invested in your peace, not their ego. And here's the paradox. When someone moves with that kind of quiet strength, their presence becomes irresistible. Because respect is magnetic, integrity attracts. Effort without entitlement creates trust, and trust is what amplifies desire. It's not the loud pursuit that captures the heart, it's the steady, intentional one. The one that says, I'll meet you where you are, not where my ego wishes you'd be. The strongest sign of attraction isn't seen in constant words or dramatic gestures. It's felt in the consistency that requires no applause. It's in how someone keeps showing up, not to prove something, but to nurture something. That's how real attraction operates. It doesn't conquer, it cultivates. Look closely at the way they treat your boundaries. That's where their truth hides. Someone who's genuinely drawn to you will never cross what you protect. They'll respect the space you guard. They won't guilt you into attention or use silence as punishment. They'll understand that real connection thrives only in freedom. Effort without entitlement is emotional strength. It's proof that someone's attraction is rooted in maturity, not insecurity. Because anyone can desire you, but not everyone can handle you with respect. The one who can will never treat your presence as a prize, but as a responsibility. And that's what defines the difference between interest and intention. Interest acts out of excitement. Intention acts out of awareness. Interest fades when unmet. Intention endures through uncertainty. Interest speaks, intention builds. So when you're wondering if someone's attraction is real, don't look for intensity, look for integrity. Watch how they act when they don't get what they want. Do they pull away? Or do they stay patient? Do they manipulate? Or do they maintain respect? The answers will tell you everything. Because at the end of the day, the truest form of attraction is not found in the chase. It's found in commitment without control. It's found in effort without expectation. It's found in someone who doesn't need to take from you to feel fulfilled, but finds purpose in simply giving value. That's how you know. The strongest sign of attraction is intentional effort without entitlement. Consistent, patient, disciplined, and rooted in respect. The kind of attraction that doesn't just want to have you, but wants to honor you. Silence is an answer. Confusion is an answer. Delay is an answer. People spend too much time decoding words and too little time observing effort. But the truth is simple. If you have to guess, you already know. Interest, when real, is visible. It moves, it shows, it commits. Inaction is not mystery, it's clarity. It's the quiet revelation that you were never a priority. When someone truly cares, their actions don't hesitate. They don't wait for the perfect moment to express what they feel. They move, because interest has direction. It's natural, instinctive, undeniable. You'll see it in how they show up, how they make space for you, how they find time even in chaos. When it's real, you don't question it. When it's missing, you feel the void instantly. We live in a world where people confuse inconsistency with complexity. They call silence mixed signals, but it's not. It's just disinterest masked by your hope that maybe it isn't. But listen carefully. If someone's actions are inconsistent, it means their feelings are uncertain. If someone is silent, it means they've made peace with your confusion. And if you're always trying to read between the lines, it's because they've left too many lines blank. You should never have to decode someone who genuinely wants you. Real interest brings clarity, not chaos. It offers stability, not guessing games. When a man is interested, he's deliberate. He makes an effort, not excuses. He communicates not because he has to, but because he wants to. His consistency is his message. He doesn't force you to wonder where you stand. He makes sure you know, because the man who truly values you won't risk losing you through ambiguity. Inaction, on the other hand, is the quiet killer of connection. It's not loud enough to warn you, but it's consistent enough to wound you. Every ignored text, every broken promise, every delayed plan, it all adds up to one truth: you're not his priority. And that's not a statement of your worth, it's a reflection of his capacity. Some people don't show interest because they can't. They lack the discipline, the courage, or the maturity to pursue something real. And here's the painful part. Sometimes the absence of action feels less clear than the presence of lies. You tell yourself he's busy. You tell yourself he's unsure. You justify his distance as fear, but in reality, he's already made his choice. CE, he's chosen not to choose you. Because inaction is still a decision. It's passive rejection disguised as uncertainty. Interest is not complicated. It doesn't need translation. When someone values you, you feel it. They protect your peace, not disturb it. They make effort even when they don't have all the answers. They show consistency because they understand that attention is the foundation of connection. But when someone's inaction becomes a pattern, stop confusing it for confusion. It's confirmation. A man who is genuinely interested in you will never let you wonder. He will not leave you suspended between hope and silence. He will not weaponize distance to gain control. His actions will align with his words. He will show you his interest not through declarations, but through structure, through presence, reliability, and respect. So when you find yourself questioning his feelings, step back. Ask yourself, has his effort matched his words? Has he prioritized clarity or convenience? Because effort is truth, and truth never hides behind excuses. A man who wants to be there will be there. A man who doesn't won't. You don't need to chase understanding. You need to accept reality. It takes emotional discipline to stop interpreting inaction as confusion. It takes self-respect to say, if he's not showing up, that's my answer. The mature don't chase closure. They recognize patterns. They stop negotiating with silence, because guessing someone's interest is just a way of denying what's already obvious. When a man's interested, you'll know. When he's not, you'll wonder. That's the difference. Wondering is the symptom of being undervalued. Certainty is the byproduct of effort. Stop romanticizing uncertainty. It's not depth, it's avoidance. The ones who care don't leave you in limbo, they move toward you with intention. Hussey, you deserve clarity. You deserve consistency. You deserve someone whose interest doesn't have to be guessed. And that means you must have the courage to stop entertaining indecision as mystery. Indecision is disrespect in disguise. The one who truly sees your worth will never make you chase their energy. Here's the truth. Real interest is never hidden. It's relentless. You'll feel it in how they prioritize your peace, how they protect your presence, how they communicate even when it's uncomfortable. And you'll also feel the absence of it when it's not there. Don't explain away the silence. Don't make excuses for the absence. Inaction has a language. It says, "You're not important enough for me to move." That's why strong people stop guessing. They stop waiting for someone to come around. They understand that love without action is fantasy, that desire without effort is noise, that silence when repeated is a boundary, not yours but theirs. So if you have to guess his interests, stop guessing. You already have your answer. He's told you everything through what he didn't do. Inaction is the loudest honesty there is. Don't chase. Clarity from someone who benefits from your confusion. Because someone who truly wants you won't risk losing you to silence, they'll prove it with consistency. And someone who doesn't will keep you in waiting rooms of uncertainty, feeding on your patience until your self-worth runs out. Don't let that happen. Hussey let his inaction be the closure you never got in words. Let it remind you that interest doesn't hide, it acts. The ones who truly want to be in your life will move mountains. The ones who don't will watch from a distance and call it timing. So remember this, if you have to guess his interest, he's already answered you. His silence, his hesitation, his inconsistency, they all speak. You just have to listen to the message beneath the inaction, because the truth always hides there, and the sooner you accept it, the sooner you free yourself from waiting for something that was never coming.